Imagine, if you will, you're the most popular boy in school. And I'm not just saying average popular, I mean unbelievably popular. Other schools like you. Every girl around likes you. Every guy wants to be around you. You are the most popular person inimaginable. There's not a single soul that can detest you. You are just that amazing that everyone pretty much worships the ground you walk on. You're that popular. What if that was the case, but you yourself don't see it because you have extraordinarily terrible self-esteem? Well, then you'd be Sei Honda-kun, because today's anime recommendation is Honda-kun, a very interesting comedy slice of life that's actually, fun fact, a prequel. Some people may not know this, but Honda-kun, which is today's anime recommendation, is actually a sort of, in a sense, prequel to another popular one called Barakamon. It stars the same character, but Honda-kun, the one we're focusing on this time, is essentially the main character from that Barakamon anime I was bringing about, but during his high school days. See, Sei Honda is actually the son of a very accomplished calligraphy artist. Calligraphy, if those don't know, is the Japanese brushing stroke technique, which is actually incredibly beautiful. And Sei Honda is, lack of a better term, a genius with it. He's extremely capable. In fact, he's already destined to be something special. And a lot of people realize that. I mean, yeah, he's a good-looking guy, he's incredibly skilled, there's pretty much nothing he can't do, except for one surprisingly overwhelming flaw. See, poor Honda doesn't really have that good of a whole, he's not really the most bravest person when it comes to his own sense of self. He's got the worst self-esteem you can imagine. Because of some friend, we'll call it that, he ends up believing that everyone mocks him, hates him, detests him. So it doesn't matter what you say. You could think he's the nicest guy on the planet. You could say he's the coolest guy. You could confess for all I care. In his mind, you think that it's just a trap. So now what happens is this guy who thinks everyone is out to get him is dealing with a circumstance where the entire school just wants to be around him. I'm not kidding. He has a fan club he's not aware of, a stalker that's willing to pretty much erase anything. You'll know if you understand. And before you realize it, the entire school is basically being bent over each and every way just because they want to worship this guy. And all in all, he thinks that it's all out to get him. So now you gotta wonder, will he ever get the bravery to understand that he's actually a really popular guy? And why is he so popular? If you want a nice, surprisingly interesting, very good-hearted, slice-of-life comedy, that I could not recommend Honda-kun enough for today's anime recommendation. Nonetheless, hello everyone, welcome back to the beautiful world of Undead Darlings, featuring the voice you can't forget, the lovely V, back at it again, doing this so far hopefully speedy second run. Last we remember, we started the second run, and actually, I thought about it, I made some pretty surprisingly quick progress. I mean, in just a 2-hour, give or take, episode last time, I was able to get pretty good. You're probably wondering why I'm here. I thought to myself, you guys probably don't really need to see me go through the dungeons again. There's already enough episodes. Although, unfortunately, I'm going to probably try and rush through it again. But I thought to myself, in between episodes, if there's any moments that aren't featuring Kairi, I'll just rush through it. And I found, primarily focusing on Kairi may not be the greatest idea if I'm trying to romance others. Because turns out, by focusing on Kairi, there were a number of other moments that I couldn't do it. For those that want to know, there were some segments where, again, you could watch the previous episodes, but when I went through the school, there were some moments where, like, oh, you could bond with Cece, or you could bond with Summer. Well, I found out by focusing on Kairi, it was like, hey, prerequisites have not been met. I know I've established this, and maybe I forgot, but I fully can confirm, in case anyone has interest, there are some sub-events you need to do, as well as have certain high affection to do so. It's a working theory. I'm not 100%, but I'm pretty confident on that, because I know Cece's affection and Summer's affection are both very high. Like, it's almost 100, which is crazy. But for some reason, Summer was like, hey, you can't bond with me because, like, you know, you didn't really do too much with me. So I was like, oh, okay. So yeah, in case anybody wants to know, you need to have high affection and these things. At least to my assumption. Hopefully I'm right on this, otherwise it's whatever. But yeah, today's episode is pretty much going to be just like I did last time. Speeding through as hopefully as I can. Because I realize, if I'll be able to get through this area quick enough, we may not have many episodes left. Remember how I said there'd only be maybe 4 episodes? It might be cut down to like 2. Because when I think about it, rushing through the game and only focusing on one character instead of exploring every bit in detail, the game doesn't take that long. I did also find out a couple other things too, before I go further on this. One, like we established last episode, yeah, all our equipment, all our stats are the same, which is why their affection's so ridiculously high. Because at this point, they would be like half that, if not. But I found out something interesting. For those that want to know, I think the game encourages rushing through the dungeons really quickly, especially when it comes to enemies. Because I found out, there was a couple of unfortunate fights I had to do because I had to, like, those, you know, those annoying green cupcakes are like, hey, you can't progress. You're in the way. We're in the way. We gotta stop you. Apparently, the experience rate is much higher. I've never had an RPG where beating it the second time around, or even a third time or whatever, or, you know, doing other runs, actually gives you even more experience and bonus to make you, like, overpowered. These are weak enemies, and I know I'm stronger, and yet they're giving me experience from, like, final area experience. And I'm just impressed by that. It's like it really wants you to push this whole, like, alright, beat up every enemy senseless, go quick, go quick, go quick kind of deal. So I'm very impressed by that. But yeah, hopefully with that, we can just rush through it super quickly.
Let's go.
Oh, right, I forgot about this freaking chicken thing. 18,000 health? No, 19,000, Jesus. Alright, you weak to light? Okay, well, just luckily I have light on the thing, so this hopefully shouldn't take too long. I guess we'll find out. Weak to lightning too? Alright, boom. Let's see how quickly this goes. Okay. Not too bad. Alright, we're done. Wow, that was,
we did it.
a boss fight that took that long. I got that done really quickly. That's impressive. But nonetheless, I'll take it. Yeah, well, I mean, there you go. With that higher experience, it should be easier to just go through this. So hopefully we'll be able to rush through it. But before I go further, obviously, viewers, I am trying to do this more confidently, work on my self-esteem, not to make a reference to Honda-kun. But if you do like this, if you like to hear my voice and other material, or you just want to show some support, I greatly appreciate a follow or a like on my Twitch under the handle of VimonDGR. You can also subscribe so that way you can skip those pesky ads, and it really just shows some support our way. At the same time, YouTube, you can also throw some like, comments, and subscribes my way. I really want to hopefully get bigger. Not front page bigger, because I doubt anyone will really, like, care about this. But if I could do anything to, like, show people up and maybe prove a little challenge I'm doing to some friends, I wouldn't mind getting some support. That way I can, like, be like, hey, guess who got, like, a number of subscribers? And they'll be like, there's no way it was. I don't know. Let's just try to stroke my ego. But nonetheless, if you find my voice really pleasant, you like the games I play interesting, or you're just like, this guy was alright, then I greatly appreciate a like and follow on respectively either my Twitch or my YouTube. You can also subscribe as well, so that way you can show some support. Nonetheless, you know you're in the right place when you find a cute old loaf of dog that looks like bread. Yes, that is the picture. It is exactly a dog, just scrunched up. Let's get to it! Like stated, I'm probably just going to fast forward through most of these cutscenes. I have not really any desire to do it. I'm probably just going to, like, do the same thing. I thought about doing false choices, but I realized I care more for, like, the actual moments. If viewers want me to do the other choices, please let me some comments. I wouldn't mind trying them, because I am curious. I might do it every now and then, but I really think the choices I did were alright, especially if it just gives me more experience, or, more things. Then again, follow Kairi Summer, follow Emily Cece. Last time I did Jordan Pearl, it would be nice to kind of mix it up a little bit. I mean, it is a second time around. Might as well have a little fun with this. You know what? Yeah, let's mix it up. Let's see. Kairi and Summer or Emily and Cece. I know I said I was going to focus on Kairi, but since I am focusing on Kairi, let's do... Who do I want to do? You know what? Let's do Emily and Cece. Why not? After Kairi's comment, you think it most prudent to keep an eye on the odd couple, Emily and Cece. Ladies. Happenstance.
Hiya, Reggie. Want to help us look through other people's belongings without permission?
Yeah, that's why I'm here. To lend a helping hand.
Yay. Isn't that so totally awesome, Emmy?
Your vocabulary leaves much to be desired, although the name Emmy does not irk the beast that lies dormant within Dichroma's immortal soul. Oh, squee. What is squee? Oh, like... I think that's what a squee sound is. Somebody find out what a squee sounds like. Cece wraps Emily in a big blonde hug and rubs her face against an unwilling cheek.
Isn't she so cute?
Oh, actually, that would be probably the real Emily, so it'd be like... Stay back from her untouchableness. Louder squeeze sounds. Emily sticks the bear between her face and Cece's, but all Cece ends up doing is rubbing her face against Dichroma instead.
So cute, so cute, so cute. She makes the teddy bear talk and it's so cute and I can't control myself.
Happenstance, you piece of mortal garbage.
Wow, thanks.
Assist your queen.
Cece, I get what you're saying, but you can't do that. She isn't consenting to being touched.
It's not a bad touch, though.
You carefully unwrap Dichroma from Cece's embrace and present the girls with an alternative. Hug me instead, go seek bloomers, play the straight man.
I volunteer as tribute.
Cece, if you get the urge again, just hug me in Her Majesty's stead. I'm also cuddly like a teddy bear.
Oh, okay.
That was easy. Cece stares at Emily for a minute, the impulse control inside of her starting to fail. With another squeal, she hugs you tight. Almost too tight.
I can't stop. She says weird things that make no sense, but then gets all cutesy when I stare at her for too long.
I'm already regretting this. Maybe we need to separate you two. You are a valorous knight to aid the Cosmic Ones, happenstance. To accept acts of punishment directed toward their vessel will not be forgotten.
Oh, that means, but I like it.
Cece relinquishes her grip on you, whips some hair out of her eyes, and grins from ear to ear.
Maintain arm's length from me, minion, and we shall have an accord.
Okie dokie. But since Papa said those were cars for blue-collar people, you can keep it when we find one.
What? Oh, like a Honda Accord? Wait, I think that's what she's referencing. A Honda Accord, but since Papa said those cars were for blue-collar people, you can keep it when we find one? Cece's something else, man. Cece's something else.
This woman is impervious to my telepathic influence. You must take care when dealing with her, Dichroma.
Oh, she talks to it too. Shut up. At least he listens.
Oh boy. Kairi, why'd you do this to me?
Enough banter. The residual energy residing in the lockers are calling out to me.
Right. Let's get searching. Keep an eye out for anything left behind by people after the school is abandoned.
Like stuff from your papa?
Exactly. He'd be the type to stuff something in a little locker.
Stuff in lockers. Stuff.
Sorry, I keep... Every time I do that, I keep thinking about Pearl. I want that to be a thing, where every time you see the words heh or eh, I hope everyone thinks of Pearl's eh. This is fun to do, right? Cece continues to mutter to herself an oblivious smile as she begins to open up the lockers and rifle through the contents. You decide to do the same and end up... Wait, excuse me, wrong voice. You decide to do the same and end up looking in the locker next to Emily. Are you doing alright, Emily? I'm being serious right now. She seems taken aback. Her eyes dart around, as if to see if anyone else is within earshot before responding.
What do you mean?
Oh, is everyone being nice to you? Do you think we can all be friends?
Why can't we be friends?
Why can't we be friends?
Yeah,
Yes.
good. Thanks for the no-frills answer. I'll keep it secret.
Of course you will.
Of course you will. As the sole mortal minion among us, you are the first lamb to be slaughtered should any unwanted truths get out.
And Reggie?
Yep. She sticks her head into the locker she's looking in, perhaps to hide her now rose-colored cheeks from you.
Sorry for the knife thing.
Oh man, that's probably not going to make sense to some people the second time around. To give a reminder, the first time we encountered Emily, just to get somebody's memory going, after we encountered her and we had those choices with her, where it was like, hey, which of these girls do you favor? Are you going to, give me foods and stuff? There was an extra scene where she, during that scene, she held me with, one of those, those cafeteria, the cheap plastic knives you get from, your school lunches that aren't really meant to cut, but kind of can cut. Yeah, that was the kind of deal. She busted out one of those things on my neck to, hold me captive, just to get people's memory going on that. Don't sweat it. Summer beats me up every now and then, so a little thing like that won't bug me.
Okay.
Emily slams her locker shut, turns toward you, and narrows her eyes.
You waste my time on the search. Such a task ought to be handled by the likes of Rabble, not their ruler.
I did that on purpose, that, change voice thing, because I figured it's funnier to, go from
A simple, easy voice like Emily
to a really deep, dramatic voice like this.
Aw, Emmy, didn't you find anything?
My eyes cannot see value in items that exist on this plane. They are instead attuned to a value that none on this planet can comprehend.
It's okay. Keep looking and we'll find something neato for sure. Look at what I found already.
Cece opens the door to one locker wide. Oh, get it, excuse me. Cece opens the door to one locker wide so that you and Emily can see the inside of the door. It is covered with teen stars, from TV and film actors to musicians.
It's the Hot Boy locker. Want to get inside and spend 7 minutes in heaven with them?
What the heck does that mean?
Absolutely not! Being in this vessel is confining enough. Subjecting myself to another enclosed space would make it harder for the Cosmic Ones to deliver their orders.
Oh, she's too scared to do it. So cute. No, I'm not.
Now. I'm not here to ogle any prepubescent pretty boys who probably struggle with drugs or other unsavory role model activities as they age. Oh, what a statement.
Mama told me they do that because there's too much pressure when you're super rich and famous.
Actually, you know what? I can't... Not that I'm rich and famous, but every time I think about that, I think about, like, Disney stars. Some Disney people do that kind of thing. Or actually, not even just Disney. Like, I guess most, like... Not even just teen, but, like, child actors that become something. I guess they just kind of, like, fall back on it because, I don't know, they need, like, escape or some, like, some coping mechanism. I wonder if that's really a case for every... Like, probably not every person, right? There's gotta be a few that are, like, just whatever. They maybe, like, have their 5 minutes of fame and then just, like, alright, well, now I'm a normal guy. But I can imagine, like, if some people have, like, their 5 seconds in the spotlight, especially from an early age, or I guess in any age in general, and they lose out, they probably, like, find some backup, means to, like, cope. I hope it doesn't become negative. Let me know what you think in the comment section, people. First world problems. Yeah, seriously.
Silly Reiji, there's no such thing as a second Earth.
Forsooth, you may not see it, but the Cosmic Ones have alighted to a Shadow Earth. It is from there that they deliver their wisdom to me. It exists in tandem with our world, but inversed. Seek the truth in the Van Allen Belt. What does that mean? Seek the truth in the Van Allen Belt, and you will see how the universe has radiated 2 worlds from one rock.
Really? So is there a Shadow Cece living there?
Indeed. Each of us has a doppelganger who makes choices opposite our own. Whoa. Don't believe her. Please.
Emmy, let's be besties. I don't want to be anything but super duper best buddies with you on both Earths.
For each decision, an equal but opposite one will be made on Shadow Earth, like I said. My ultimate destiny will be to face off against myself before I can claim both Earths as mine. Should you still wish to be at my side, know that you will someday have to kill either me, my other self, or your other self.
I am so confused. I know I'm reading this and trying. I'm confused myself about what I'm reading.
I don't really get it, but if you're saying that we can be besties, then yay.
Cece envelops Emily in another unwarranted hug, letting go of her own volition right away this time. It's like she's learning how to control her impulses or something.
It's nothing worth celebrating.
As the two chat, you continue to explore lockers until you reach the end of the row. On the wall next to the lockers is a familiar, if outdated, image. Yo, check this out.
What are we checking? Ooh, it's a food pyramid.
It's upside down, real human blueprints, no human. Where's yogurt belong? In the sugars section, right? Wait, actually, yogurt would be dairy. It'd be the dairy section. Right? Why am I forgetting the basic food groups? Actually, I'm curious. Okay, Cece, show me where the yogurt belongs. I can't do it without referencing Pearl. I can't do it anymore. Every time somebody does I can't not think of Pearl. Cece points to her face and rubs her belly. Oh, funny.
Right?
That's my fault. I meant on this diagram. Of course yogurt goes into your mouth and stomach. I didn't expect you to say your hair or back.
Haha, Reggie, you're being gross. Yogurt all over my back is so icky. But I guess I smell like key lime pie, so it wouldn't be all bad.
And Reggie's like, I'm personally more of a peach. And then V's like, I'm more of a strawberry banana guy myself. I suppose not.
But on this diagram, yogurt goes with dairy, so...
It's okay. You don't have to answer. I just thought it'd be a funny question to ask.
Oh, gotcha. I guess it was kind of funny, maybe.
Yogurt. A poor substitute for the chosen beverage of the cosmic ones. Here we go.
What's that?
Those who know, know. Those who do not must come to know through a spiritual journey into the astral plane of truth.
Ooh, it must be yummy if you have to do all that for it.
Indeed it is. Its versatility and flavor is unmatched, with entire empires built around its miraculous potential.
So it's related to yogurt in some way? You're not talking about fruit smoothies, are you?
Never. Those are an affront to the arboreal patrons who donate their children to the rest of life's creatures on this pale blue dot.
Oh, okay. A simple yes or no would have been fine.
Sometimes a simple answer does not do justice to the simple question being asked.
Isn't she just adorable? She doesn't like smoothies. Are they too cold? Do you get brain freezes, Emmy?
Queen Emily is no longer taking questions. Away, minion.
Aw, her titty's like a white knight. I want to gobble them up both so bad.
I am so confused by this section of the story. We've been playing this game for about it's probably like 38 episodes at this point. I don't think I've ever felt more confused. I've gathered as much, but go easy on her, would you? Give her time to warm up to us before you toss her to the Fontaine fire.
You're right. I'm sorry, Emmy. I'll be good. Okay. Hey, I'm bored. Are we done?
Depends. Did you check the lockers and whatnot?
Yeah, they were empty. Except for one. It had this fun key inside of it.
Cece hands you a key that has a label on it that reads Karage Karaoke. It must open that dingy karaoke bar. When we go to the karaoke spot, I'm just, again, going to just fast forward to it. I have no desire, again, to replay those scenes. I'm just going to hold square and skip. I don't think anybody really needs to relive that, but if so, I'm pretty sure the karaoke spot was more important for Summer, and I'm pretty sure I probably won't be able to do it again. So, for those that want it, please go back to the earlier episodes with the karaoke thing. I'll try to find the episode. I'm certain it's on my playlist. Yeah, it's on my playlist. Nice find. Guess it was worth it to look around.
It is as the cosmic ones foretold. This room was my haven, so of course it held treasures that would benefit me on my path to universal conquest.
Okay. Kairi suddenly clasped her hands together like a teacher attempting to get the attention of her students.
Everyone, let us regroup and discuss our findings.
She motions everyone into a circle and, though it may not have been intentional, she stands right next to you, like your elbows are grazing one another. Too close. As ordered, everyone discussed what they did or did not find during their search of the classroom before Kairi resumes her leadership role once again.
I found a few pertinent documents, but upon further perusal, their contents tell us nothing we did not know. For instance,
Kairi holds up a manila folder with scribbles all over it.
This states, aim for their head, burn every corpse you find, and don't listen to talkers. They are walkers who have learned to lie.
Which is a statement. A very cool statement. Oh, messages from survivors to other survivors. Not applicable to us, then.
Precisely. That's so cruel. They're gonna kill others like us just because one of them must have lied to them.
Whoever did that was an idiot. We aren't in a position to trick others, you know.
Quite true. Surely it was an attempt to escape their captors that had gone awry.
Captors?
You think half are zombies like us are being kept locked up?
Yes, I have seen it. They wait for us to turn into the mindless horde, but we die of starvation first.
That's disgusting. Reggie, we're gonna free anyone who we find who's caged up by survivors, okay?
It's not our call. We can't possibly know who will turn or who will stay in limbo like you all. No offense, of course.
None taken. It is the wisest course of action. The fact that you have given us the benefit of doubt speaks volumes about your character.
Gee, thanks. I expected you to flatter me, Kairi.
Perhaps you should expect the unexpected from now on, then.
Kairi flashes you a smile unlike any she has shown thus far. Gentle, warm, caring, and obviously trying to flirt with you. As if you were any more dense, she's clearly winking, as if she has something in her eye. She's changing. It seems like it's for the better.
Well, if we're done looking around, and you two are stopped looking at each other, and are all rested up, let's move on.
Please, was it that long ago that I graduated from high school? Oh, excuse me. Please. It wasn't long ago that I graduated from high school, and I'm kind of over hanging out in one.
Ha ha ha. What beasts shall we skewer next?
Hopefully it's something we can cook. Man, that turkey was great.
That settles it. Let's go, everyone.
Everyone begins to exit the classroom, with you and Kairi bringing up the rear. You find it odd that she is intentionally trying to stay behind you. Alright, finally! We can get more stuff done with Kairi, because I remember vividly that last time I did this, couldn't be done. I really hope this is the right... Well, it can't be, who cares. I'm gonna slow my pace. Finally, I get to, like, see more about this. I'm determined on this, too. I also did think about something else, viewers, just to really briefly say it. I realized that during this playthrough, because I'm focusing on Kairi, I may not end up get the other endings, so what I'm going to do is, when I get to the point where it's like, alright, choose a girl, I'm going to do in order, and I'll just go between the saves, right? So that way I can go in order, from the first join Pearl to last join Emily. I'm just going to go straight down the list, and I figure it's easier to do that than replaying the game, like, what, several more times, just to get a different girl's ending. So, and potentially bad ending / buck ending, so I figured it's fair. You take very slow steps toward the exit. It is then that you feel her pinch the back of your shirt. Ouch, how painful. She hasn't clipped her nails. That really hurts. It feels like she's digging into the skin. She tugs it just hard enough to cause you to stop. Ow! Do you need something, Kairi? Cause now I'm bleeding.
A moment of your time, if that is alright.
Hold on, I gotta let the injuries heal. The others notice that the two of you have fallen back. Pearl, what you would expect, is the first to speak.
What's wrong, Reggie?
Kairi wants to go over some of the notes she found a bit more.
I do?
Yes, you do. That's what you just told me. Remember? Wink, wink, wink. I want to imagine my character's like winking, but he sucks at it. Like he's winking the left eye and right eye like over and over. And then she's like,
What on earth is wrong with your eye? Are you trying to make fun of me because I have one working eye?
and then Pearl's like, seriously, Reggie, what's wrong with you? And then he's like, oh my god, I need to talk to Kairi alone for a minute. Please?
Yes. What a strange thing to have forgotten all of a sudden. Oh, do you want us to stay here a bit longer then?
No.
That will not be necessary. I only require Reginald's assistance. This should benefit us all, as I will keep him someplace safe so that you can all explore without worry.
Finally, we don't have to keep our loot donkey in our periphery.
Thanks. Sorry.
Don't be mean, Jordan. Kairi's idea makes sense, even though I don't really like it.
I think the tone of voice would have been a little bit more interesting if she said, even though I don't really like it. Like, she, like, really deepened. She was, like, super steady, like, I don't like this.
Try not to take too long, okay? We'll come back after scouting some other classrooms.
Thanks, Pearl.
Okay, bye.
Deuces. The others all leave. Only you and Kairi remain in the classroom.
So, this is quite a thrilling situation, is it not?
Huh? Where did this side of things come from? What, being in a classroom?
No,
Oh, not going to expound for me?
not particularly. Forget I said anything.
Like, explain, in case somebody didn't know what that meant. With a huff, Kairi turns and faces the chalkboard. After a moment of thought, she picks up one of the board erasers and begins to clear the chalkboard as best as she can. Let's see what we got here. Why? You're a flustered cleaner or teacher's pet? Oh man, I don't know. What would be a beneficial thing to say is a question. I feel like if I say teacher's pet, she's gonna get all snappy. Oh well. Teacher's pet. Kairi stops dead in her tracks. Or cold in her tracks. Or... well, everything seems to connote that she's dead, so let's just say Kairi stops.
What did you just call me?
She turns in a slow, methodical manner, grasping the eraser so tight that you fear her grip will rend it in two. Maybe I might have made a bad choice here. Did I stutter, suck up? Quit being a teacher's pet by cleaning the board. There's no extra credit to be had here.
Why, you...
Yeah, that's...
You stupid fool! Shall I clean the filth from your mouth instead?
Jeez.
Have you ever wondered what a chalkboard eraser feels like when it's being crammed down your gullet, you flying rat?
Whoa. I don't think I made the right choice. Huh?
Enough of your blathering, mortal! I'm going to show you what for!
Kairi suddenly leaps at you. Well, thanks, I guess. Kairi suddenly leaps at you. Unable to dodge in time, you accept your fate and let her body slam right into yours. With your back now pinned against the desk, she begins to vigorously scrub your face with a dirty eraser. Oh, she actually is erasing me. Gross.
Ah, the chalk! Ah, it's in my mouth and eyes and hair. In the wrong order, I said that. Ah!
Eat my dust!
I get literally. Ah.
A moment more of you being at the mercy of a fairly short girl with a chalkboard eraser ensues, until she starts laughing so hard that she drops her weapon of choice to the ground.
Oh, wow.
How is she overpowering me? I'm still kind of confused about how strong these zombie girls are. They can use all these weapons and do all these hits, like I think about Summer, and they can use magic and stuff. But, I don't know, maybe it's because I've watched a lot of anime and seen a lot of TV. Zombies are normally supposed to be like ridiculously strong, but I remember there's comments where they're like, oh, I'm not as strong as I used to be, blah, blah, blah. How strong are zombies? Really, that's what gets me. Sometimes I see zombies like able to like barrel through like super sturdy barriers, but then some of them break at like the simple touch, so I'm curious. Anyone know how strong zombies normally are? Please let me know in the comment section below. Oh wow, yourself. It was terrifying.
I've never laughed like that in my life.
Your grammar is inaccurate.
Huh? Oh, you're right. I never laughed like that during my life would be more accurate, I suppose.
There you go. There you go.
Something about you causes me to go, for lack of a better term, haywire. I never used to act out like this.
Because I'm a fun guy.
My apologies for frightening you. I never did tell you why I asked you to stay behind, did I?
Was it to just pretty much nearly suffocate me with a dirty eraser? Who knows how long that's been and what's been touching that? Ugh. I'm pretty sure now I got the diseases. Nope. Now I'm worried.
Well, I am uncertain whether or not it's cause for worry, but while we were in here as a group, I found myself glancing out the window at one point. In the distance, I spotted an amusement park. From here, all you can see are the high curves of the roller coasters, and that one ride where you were dropped from a ridiculous height.
Don't remind me. I am never going to go on it. I will never go on it. People don't need to know, but there was an episode I talked about some of my horrifying fears. I'm pretty sure a lot of my fans will know I hate heights. I'm already looking at that last sentence. I'm not doing it. I don't care how hot you are, how much money you offer, even if it was to save a life. Well, I mean, no, I'm sticking with that. No. Reggie always did enjoy a good free fall, not V. You look out the class. I have to say that. I can't accept saying that out of my mouth. I just cannot. You look out the classroom window and toward the amusement park Kairi mentioned. Ah, the old 6 banners. They have a massive Ferris with it. Wait, 6 banners? 6 Flags. It's a 6 Flags reference. God, that's so funny. As if this game knew where I got one of my fears from. It was because of 6 Flags, the Great American Coaster. Wow, that's crazy. I talked about it. Viewers, you got me. Remember, I talked about my fear, but I don't know this cutscene at all. I am blind on this. I made and told everyone and shared I don't do with heights and everything. And yet, it's interesting how there was a 6 Flags joke and they talked about a free fall here. As if this game knew. And I wonder how many viewers who knew this game, if there are any, was like, oh, he's talking a lot of stuff about 6 Flags. I can't wait for you to go on Kairi's route. Kairi wants to like go to 6 banners now.
Oh?
It's covered by the tree line from here, but you can kind of see one of the basket things that people get into.
You refer to the passenger cabins.
I didn't want to sound like a snob by calling it a gondola. A gondola. Why did I say gondola like that?
That's why I said passenger cabins, to tell you the truth.
Interesting. You walk Kairi over to the window and point toward a thin area in the tree line where one of the Ferris wheel gondolas is visible.
You're right. All the more reason for me to have kept you here then.
Enough teasing, Kairi. What's on your mind?
Of course. Something came to mind when I saw that place. Visions of a life unlived. Places never visited.
I'm not saying too bad, so sad. Even I know that's a bad choice. Shall we all go, or it's fun? I would normally say shall we all go, even though I wouldn't honestly say as V, shall we all go. As Reggie's sake, I would say shall we all go. But I wonder if she'd like the it's fun thing more. I don't know which one she'd like more. I'm thinking it's fun, just in case there's a moment where Kairi's like, oh, we all have to go. That's fine, I guess. It's fun.
Oh?
You were wondering if it's somewhere where you'd have fun, weren't you?
I was, yes. For most of my life, I dismissed such things as trifling distractions. Amusement for people to escape from their own shortcomings.
You did? Are you sure you aren't parroting what your dad told you?
Perhaps I am. It's something I believed for a long time, so it is not impossible that he instilled this thought into me as a child. But I long for such a distraction now more than ever.
Funny how you want these things when you're no longer alive. I wonder if that's the case.
If it's such a fun place, I would like to go someday.
Then let's do it. I'll take you.
You will?
Yeah, why not? It'll be after... I mean, Reggie, not me. Who am I kidding? It'll have to be after we finish the whole cure delivery thing, but once it's up and running again, let's go. All of us.
All of us, you say.
See, I knew it. I knew it. You heard the tone of voice. I called it. I freaking called it. We can leave Buck behind if you want, but yeah, we're all friends. We should all go and have fun together once we're done suffering and crawling through modern-day dungeons.
Yes, that sounds nice. Although I'd rather experience it myself first, so that I don't seem so... surprised at every little thing.
Isn't that part of the fun? Even now, we're exploring places for the first time together.
You don't believe the others would chide or mock me for being so out of touch?
Trust me, they think it's cute. I know I would. Your happiness and surprise will energize everyone, and that'll make it even more fun.
I see. So experiencing something for the first time, even if others are not, is still fun for everyone. Allow me to amend and clarify my statement. We must all go as a group.
There you go. We're a group of friends, so it's probably best that we try not to isolate anyone.
You are absolutely correct.
Yikes!
Do not isolate anyone. You said it yourself. So please, stop treating me as if I am not here.
Kairi's expression led you to believe she was in control of the situation and her emotions, but her actions now prove otherwise. She takes her pink pencil case out of her blazer's inside pocket, removes the syringe, and slams both down on a nearby desk. That doesn't look like a slamming motion, but I don't know why she looks all sad. Did I do something wrong?
Is this what's holding you back? These are not me. Have I let you down because I was trying to keep my condition from the others?
I'm confused.
It's not as though I meant to keep it a secret. I am ashamed. Ashamed of the being I've become, after living such a meaningless life.
I'm honestly confused. Oh! Is she saying it because of, like, her stealing the supplies? Does she think I'm, like, kind of, like, distancing myself because I'm like, hey, I don't deal with thieves, man. That ain't my spiel. Is that why? I'm assuming. I don't know if it's true or not.
Even now, I cling to what I once was, and my thoughts about what I never got to be.
What are you trying to say, Kairi?
While alive, I discarded all opportunities to have fun, to enjoy a teenager's life of mistakes and foolish abandon. And I only realize this now after I've become such a despicable monster, and the only boy I've ever taken interest in would sooner jump in front of a train than...
As if she just now realized all the emotions she was spilling from the mouth, Kairi's face glows red and she cuts herself off. Her gaze turns to the floor. You struggle to just find one comment of hers to focus on. No one cares about a deadeye. A teen mistakes, huh? Who's the boy? I should honestly think here. I'm thinking about this, but that feels too dense, right? I don't know... What would Kairi like to hear is the question. Actually, you know what? It's less of like what Kairi would want to hear, more like every time I think, and viewers will know on this, I don't know... Y'all understand like my confusion here, right? Like my hesitancy. I want to romance her, but I'm scared I might make the wrong choice. And I feel like I should. Because I still don't know if there's any like, oh, you really messed up. You shouldn't have like said this now. Why did you do this? So I don't know. I'm thinking honestly about the Well, I'm kind of torn between like the this and the who's the boy thing. I don't know what to say. I shouldn't be dense. And this feels like the safest one. You know what? This feels like the safest one. I'm going with it. No one cares about a dead eye, Kairi. Do what you have to do if you're trying to keep it from falling out.
You aren't upset that I tried to steal supplies for my own selfish reasons?
It kind of sucks that you didn't trust us enough to ask, because we would have been happy to give you all the saline we had. Nobody else needed it.
I see. Trust.
But I get it. You had only recently met us. It's only natural to be dubious of others.
Yes, that was my logic at the time. Perhaps I thought I would be seen as a hindrance, or someone who would demand too many of your already limited supplies. So I did all I could to make my worth known. I tried to take charge. I tried to lead, knowing all along that it was only so my medical needs would be easier for you to all swallow.
That's why you were so bossy from the get-go? Jeez. I owe Jordan an apology and a fruit snack.
What?
This is kind of stupid to bring up, but we had a little bit... That's so funny, actually. I'm sorry, I'm reading ahead, and I thought about what I just said. This is kind of stupid to bring up, but we had a little bet about whether you were bossy by default, or if you were doing it intentionally. I figured it was because it was default. Excuse me. I figured it was default because the alternative sounded so conspiratorial coming from Jordan. Turns out she was right.
I suppose she was. I was raised to be a leader, but I've had relatively few opportunities to play the role in real life.
You played as though you've been bossing others around forever. You sure fooled me.
I must admit, it feels like a weight has been lifted from my shoulders. Thank you for hearing me out, Reggie.
Kairi collects herself before continuing.
Perhaps we should change the subject entirely.
Let's get back to why you asked me in here.
The amusement park?
I'm excited to go there with you, Kairi. Everyone else will be too.
Thank you. I may be inexperienced, but I will be in your care.
Kairi folds her hands together in front of her and proceeds to give you a nice 90-degree bow. When she comes up from the bow, she doesn't straighten her back all the way. Now that's maximum respect. I'll do my best, or something. You perform a hasty bow, which more looks like a catapult cocking and releasing a corpse. It's not pretty, in other words.
I have so many friends now. It's thrilling, but I'm just getting started.
How's the spirit? We'll make it through this and help you make up for lost time.
Yes.
In a bout of perfect timing, the classroom door swings open and the other girls re-enter without warning. Wow, way to just kind of barge in here, girls.
Everyone's back all of a sudden.
Hiya, Kairi! Did you guys have fun?
Cece, please! They were just looking over some papers. Right, Reggie?
Right, Reggie? Reggie's like, nah, I was busy flirting, doing other things. Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Right.
Really? I don't know about that. A guy and a girl alone in a classroom is super sexy.
Nuh-uh. Look, they even wrote notes on the chalkboard. They're telling the truth.
Oh, you're right. That kind of stinks then.
Cece, calm down.
It doesn't stink. It's very reassuring.
What's her problem?
Sorry. I didn't realize how much I missed hearing your conversations until I had separated myself from them. Thank you for giving me the time I needed to learn this.
Huh? You're welcome, I guess.
Aw, how nice! Kairi, we missed you too!
Aw.
Totally! I didn't have that super shiny hair to smell, or someone to keep me from touching stuff that I shouldn't touch.
Huh?
I should say something too, huh? How about we just get going instead?
Yes. Let's go, Reginald. You've caused us enough delay as it is.
I have? Wait, when did this turn against me? What?
Did I stutter? Come on, Loot Donkey. Double time.
What? Back to the bossy front, huh? Alright, duly noted. Oh, that was cute. And we got to learn some more about Kairi. So she acts like that just because... Oh, okay, that's cute. See? We didn't know that at all. We always just probably assumed Kairi was just, like, bossy by nature. Although I am curious about the other choices on that. I'm curious about the who's the boy and everything. I don't really know... How long would that take, though? It would take me a good minute to, like, just rip through that. And I didn't save beforehand. You know what? It's probably fine. It's not like I Wait, didn't I get more affection from Kairi? What's the max affection? Why is she still at 100? She was at 100 beforehand. Well, whatever. I'm just gonna rock it. If need be, I'll just make a separate save. Might as well make a separate save here. Do I have to go through the karaoke thing? Well, I might as well just do it. I'm just gonna hold square. Like I said, there's really no need for me, unless there's a Kairi moment, but I don't think this is. I think this is, now that I'm looking at it, I think this is primarily... Jordan, did you hear that? I think this is primarily for Emily and for Summer. But, might as well do this. Jordan, please tell me you heard that. Do you know how this shit works? Hey Emily, do you like the Elton John song Rocket Man?
I don't like soft crap.
What is that a reference to? Why does that sound familiar? Holy moly, Reggie. This can't be coincidence, can it? This was way too close. Wait, what was that that must have been that felt like a reference to something. I'm trying to think. Do I know? I don't think I know the reference. He said, do you know the song, Elton John song, Rocket Man? Emily says, I don't like soft crap. That feels like I've heard that somewhere. Why does that feel like I've heard that from something? Oh, I really don't know. It's gonna bother me too, because I feel like I might have heard it. I don't know if I know what it's from. It must be like a game or movie reference, but I don't know, but it sounds like I've heard it from something. I don't know.
What? What? Why would you mention that song all of a sudden?
Well, recording a movie. Oh, it's a movie reference? Okay, well, recording a movie.
And that has what?
Or that has what to do with me?
Wow. I guess it was a coincidence.
I demand someone explain what's going on. I'm confused too.
I'm sorry, Emily. This is what those two do. For some reason, I feel as though I just experienced an act of cruelty. Yeah, I know what you mean, but it's still fun to listen to them.
I agree.
Can we all collect ourselves and look around? Your father was here, right?
Who, me? I guess. He did leave that message on the window pane.
Then let's split up and search the rooms. Maybe use one of them to conduct research while on the move.
There was one room I will not allow your eyes to...
Okay, I remember this part. Yeah, because this is the point where we, like, deal with Emily, right? Yeah. Or Summer. One of the two. Really no point in all this. Yeah, it's the same things here. Well, if I'm doing different ones... I had a moment with Cece, I had a moment with Emily, I had a moment with Kairi, even though it's going to be a moment with Kairi. I'm debating about doing Cece and Summer. Just to try something different this time. Because something else might happen in exchange. Kairi and Pearl. I'm going to stick by Kairi and Pearl. Mainly so Kairi doesn't boss her around too much. Yeah. I kind of get where you're coming from. I'll keep an eye on Emily then. Cool. You saunter on over to Pearl and Kairi like a hip alley cat with a chip on his shoulder. Pearl smiles at your arrival, while Kairi gives you a blank stare.
Hey, Reggie!
Yo.
Did we look like we needed your help? This is a small place to scour.
You did not. No. That's why I'm here. To make things harder for you.
I figured as much. I think it's great. Reggie, do you know that the power still works here? Look!
Pearl points toward a panel of switches against the wall featuring blinking green LED lights.
We were just positing that someone must have physically destroyed the overhead lights for some reason.
Yeah, it definitely doesn't look like the bulbs burnt out. Those suckers have been smashed.
I wonder why they do that. Just turn them off, you know? Normally, I would agree. However, when the world is in such a state, perhaps it was a rash action taken to hide one's presence from outside forces.
Yeah, that makes sense. What if, like, some zombies or enemies were, like, sensitive to light? You shatter it so that way you can, like, you know, make things dark. And I know somebody's like, well, they probably wouldn't care. Well, I'm also thinking, okay, if not sight, then maybe it might be one of those lights that, like, have that irritating buzzing sound. Like, you know, if you're in, like, one of those schools or, like, those classrooms or even, like, an office or something where it has, like, those irritatingly loud buzzing lights, like, you can hear the electricity buzzing from them. whatever those like things are, to the point where you're like, God, can we like shut down the light? Anyone know what I'm talking about? I think somebody knows what I'm talking about.
Oh, I guess that could be it. Still sounds like a waste of energy to me.
The reason I say this is because like some of those things are super loud. Maybe the zombies are sensitive to it, that they shut it or break it so that way they're no longer like making that sound to attract zombies. That was my thought process. I, for one, would prefer that we look after our quietly buzzing fluorescent overlords with love.
Please stay on task, you two. Jeez, everything was going smooth until you joined in, Reggie. You learned pretty quick that he's the type of person to put wrinkles in freshly ironed bed sheets.
I don't get it.
I don't understand either. Well, cause, like, can you explain for me, Reggie?
Pass? Why do I have to explain your analogy?
Kairi, you said things were going smooth, and he puts wrinkles in smooth stuff. Ah, alright. I believe I follow now. It wasn't that hard to understand.
Kairi turns her attention back to exploring and fingers through a magazine rack placed at the far end of the lobby's waiting area before huffing a sigh of defeat. No bustlers, huh? Or are we boring? Eeny, meeny, miny, this one. There are no bustlers in that rack. Believe me, I checked.
Oh my gosh, Reggie! You're terrible! You and your bustlers! It's like every time I got rid of one, two more replaced it!
That's just how deep the rabbit hole goes.
It's so annoying! What do those plastic girls have that are so special, huh?
Whoa, come on. Let's not do this now. Besides, those girls were just pieces of paper, not plastic.
I am intrigued as well, though. Why is it that men prefer objects over people?
Objects?
I am not saying that women are objects, but rather that you will take a video or a magazine and place more sexual value in it than those of living, breathing humans.
Oh, that is a statement. I am not saying that women are objects, but rather that you will take a video or a magazine and place more sexual value in those than in living, breathing humans. You know what, viewers? What do you gotta say about that? For any men, actually, not even just men, some women too. You put more value in that than other people. Why is that? For me, I plead the fifth.
It just so happens that those objects contain...
Ugh, excuse me. I'm getting a little sensitive here. Let me take a few steps back.
It just so happens that those objects contain imagery of real people. In this case, women. That's such a weird way to put it. I think it's objectifying. Do you? An image is an image. An object is an object. People are people. I still don't think you get it. Can you help me, Reggie?
How the heck am I supposed to help with this circumstance? Honestly. I totally skipped my women's studies course, and unfortunately, this is the point where, like, what if Reggie was like, oh, but luckily, it's okay though. It's International Women's Month. I got this. And then Pearl's like,
it was Women's Month months ago!
And I'm just like, ooh. Well, I got nothing. Sorry.
Of course you did. Or of course you did. Please enlighten me. I am not against being proven wrong, but I'm failing to grasp the concept that you're presenting. It's sort of like, throwing everything else about a girl away and appreciating her only for having a nice body.
An expensive sports car without an engine is just a lifeless shell.
Right! The stuff you can't see on the outside is way more important.
There are some birds buzzing outside on my window right now. Do you mind? I'm trying to give wacky, impressive voices to these girls. Go away, birds! There's some weird birds outside. Stop calling out here. Actually, I don't even know if people can hear that. I can't actually hear it out of my headphones, but I can hear it IRL. Which makes me think I can probably hear it in game. Oh, whatever.
Objectifying girls is like ignoring all the best parts.
Facts. It's a true statement right there.
Then Reggie, do you find us attractive right now?
Uh-oh. Oh, no. Oh, no. And it's these two girls specifically. Oh, no. Oh, God. I should have chose Cece and Summer. This has got worse. Of all the people to ask that question, and for the two people of the whole cast of characters to ask that for, because I know Summer would be, like, making jokes about it, Cece be whatever, Emily, I don't know if Emily would get fazed by it, and Jordan would have her own, like, banter. These are the two people that are most sensitive to it. God. Alright, here we go. Huh?
Yeah, Reggie. Are you looking at our engines or our bodies?
Sorry, that got me funny.
Reggie, are you looking at our engines or our bodies?
I feel exceedingly uncomfortable. This is not the situation to ask me that.
Don't you dare back away from this! I guess you're right. Who'd say that walking, talking corpses are pretty, huh?
No, that's not it at all. Damn it, why did I always skip that class? Am I not allowed to reverse the question? How handsome am I to you right now?
Well, you know, I actually... Looking upon you gives me some manner of...
Acid reflux. Do I make you... Wait, how else could I take that? Looking upon you gives me some manner of acid reflux? Isn't that essentially saying, like, every time you see me, you get the urge to, like, nearly gag? Or am I taking this the wrong way? I might be taking this the wrong way, because she's blushing.
I actually think you're quite handsome lately.
Lately?
Yeah, as opposed to every other time. In fact, before this circumstance with this game, you were like a 2 out of 10. But now, you've jumped up. So now you're a good solid 6.
Wait. That doesn't...
There, I said it.
Acid reflux. Wow, that's harsh.
I have no other way to explain it. My apologies for the inaccurate imagery.
It's okay. Guys are pretty gross overall, so we gotta make up for it by having magnetic personalities. Like I do. I'm not really the most attractive, but I hope that with my voice and my random sense of humor and my love of anime and nerddom, I get people going for me. And so far, I think it's alright.
But... your self-esteem needs work. And as I said...
Anyway, let's drop it. This argument could go on forever. I feel like that was a good way to, like, kind of skirt past that, so phew!
Aww. Then perhaps we ought to abandon searching for tiny clues and look at the big picture, as it were. I know. We should look in the karaoke rooms next. Let's rejoin the others, okay, Reggie?
Okay. The crew gathers together in the lobby once again and reports their universal lack of findings.
It gets kind of tight in the hallway.
Oh wait, this is familiar. Yeah, no, I've read this. Yeah, okay. Because I think this is the point where I, like, discover... Oh, is this a summer moment? I think it is. I probably shouldn't have skipped this, but I swear this feels familiar, at least skimming through this. Yeah, this is the thing that leads to summer, right? But I don't think I can do it because I've been focusing on Kairi alone. Ugh. Yeah. I remember that. I remember this. Yeah, okay. Yep. Because I've been focusing on Kairi, I'm unable to do it. I will make a separate save, though. I really shouldn't. I don't need to, but meh. Yeah, that kind of sucks a bit, but there was really no point because I already kind of discovered it. But you know what? For the sake of this, I will do different choices. Also, I should probably say, viewers, this may potentially be a shorter episode because I don't really want... I really primarily want to focus, since there's no need to do the fighting in the dungeons, except for the boss fights, I primarily want this next sector run to be specifically based off of, like, if there are moments where I know it's going to have something to do with Kairi, or at least will lead up to it. The reason why I stopped last episode and went further was because I was like, well, surely I can go through the dungeons, and I did get to a cutscene, admittedly, but I did those cutscenes, that's why I know, but I stopped before the boss because I was like, I don't know if there's a... I remember that was a moment where it, like, led to Kairi, so... What I'm probably going to do is, I'll probably end it after the karaoke. I'm just going to fast forward through it, like I'm doing now. But, like, the hospital, the lab, unless it gets to a moment where it's like, I don't think there's a major thing. But, like, by next episode, if you see me at a different place, it's probably because it's like, I've been fast forwarding through the dungeon fights. Just because, again, I just want to primarily focus on, like, romancing this time. We already know how the dungeons work out, and unless there's some extra dungeon, I don't think I need to put people through that again. If you guys want to see that, please let me know, but I don't personally think I want to. You know what? I'm making an executive decision. I don't think I need to. But I will do some different choices, because it is kind of fun to see some different sides of things. So, to the song of this book. All our answers lie within its laminated pages.
You dumbass. Are you being an idiot on purpose? Or maybe you're too chicken to feel around dead guys' pockets. Well, what about you, Summer? Does your confidence mean that you made a living fishing through dead people's clothes?
Thanks, Jordan, for having my back.
Or are you too chicken? Huh? Hey, have you forgotten who killed, gutted, and helped roast that delicious turkey back at the roadblock? Dead stuff doesn't bug me one bit.
Oh man, it was so good. I felt like a Renaissance fair bar wench when I was eating that big drumstick like a savage.
Yeah, You're really digging into it. You're almost acting like a normal zombie, Cece.
Why is that a Cece one?
Even Zom-Zom's gotta have some nom-noms.
That is a sentence. Put that in the quotes, channel people.
I was so hungry because I was only eating flowers before that.
What? Jordan agrees.
That's just... Ugh, never mind.
As the four chatted up, Pearl begins to flip through the song list book with Kairi, pointing to different songs.
So when I went to my senior prom in high school, this was the first slow dance song they played.
Excuse me.
Such an exact memory. Why would you choose to remember that? Well, I mean, it was my senior prom. It depends on the person, but it's kind of a big deal, especially if you have a date. And did you? No.
It's okay, Pearl. Neither did I. I think proms are... I didn't really care too much for proms. I had an opportunity to just go with a friend, but I was like, I'm good. I don't really do the whole social gathering thing. I didn't really do much of the whole dancing kind of side of things. And before someone asks, no, I don't regret it. And if I really did care, I go to like, I don't know, some like dance parlor or club or something. What do people in our age group do? We like go to like... I'm sure we have enough people that have parties and dancing and stuff. I don't really like... I'm not really a dancer. I'm like a stiff robot. I probably can't dance to save my life.
Really? I would have thought that, Reggie aside, you would be very popular with the opposite sex. Thanks. But he's exactly why nobody else asked me. Your penchant for talking about him, you mean? Yep. I sort of screwed myself by doing that. After all, it's not like Reggie would have minded if I went with someone else from my class. He was in a different class. He was a grade above me, so he already graduated. That's why he didn't ask me to prom. He was already gone.
Oh, but I bet you if I was there, I would have asked her. I would have totally asked. Wait, is that a rule? I actually don't know. Can you not recruit people? I guess, I don't know if that's a proper term to say. Can you not recruit people, I guess, of a respective age? Like, if they graduate, means that they can't go to prom? Or is it like, don't they usually have like plus ones or something? Can you just not recruit somebody from like, not affiliated with the school to not be a prom date? I don't know. I really honestly don't know. Like I said, I didn't bother with prom, so meh.
And it's completely inappropriate for the girl to beg the guy for a prom date, you know?
Is it?
I do not, no. Then, did he invite you the previous year? You should ask him.
Uh-oh.
Perhaps I shall.
Your attention is turned toward Kairi after she taps you on the shoulder.
Enlighten me.
Okay. Swallow more air and you'll lighten right up.
I will choose to ignore that really stupid pun. Pearl was just telling me about this social event called the senior prom. Are you familiar with it?
Ah, crap. Pearl, why are you bringing that up with Kairi of all people? Why is it these circumstance with you too? This is why this game separates it. I mean, yeah, it separates the potential chance for getting the other girls, but that's why it separates Pearl and Kairi. Because you have these moments where it's like, these two are the most sensitive to, like, love talks and everything. Ugh. Talk about other things.
We were looking in the song list book, and I saw a few songs that reminded me of prom. Or should I say, reminded me what I thought my prom would be like.
Oof. So, basically, Kairi, during my senior year, I didn't go to prom.
Yuck. I remember this. Pearl cried for like days. I thought her eyes were gonna dry out.
Ha! A terrible curse, I assure you.
Oh, yeah, I can imagine that. Kairi, right? Because, you know, the whole eye thing? Huh? No? Okay.
Don't tell him that part.
What? It was my senior year, and my friends and I wanted to be rebellious, so we went and ate fast food instead. That is legit what I did. I can talk about this. Viewers, I got a chance to go. Like I said, there was a friend of mine that she wanted to go to prom. Because it was like a good experience and all. But the other two friends I had, because I moved around a lot, just to get people, in case people don't know, I moved around in a lot of places, and I actually got messages. This was when Facebook was still a thing. Granted, I was like still super young, but like around that time, people were like super on Facebook and using it to like chat with people and everything. When I first came to the West Coast, when I moved out, and I met a few people that became friends, even though unfortunately we haven't talked in a good minute. One of them, she asked me to go to prom because it was like, you know, make memories, a good excuse, blah blah blah. And up to that point, I didn't really know or think about prom. There were a couple other like dance moments and stuff that happened, and I remember going to a few, but I just don't really do the whole social thing. I can, like, jokes aside, I think I have okay dancing, but I'm not really a dancer. I really don't like doing it. And social gatherings aren't really my cup of tea. I don't mind, or I still want to go to like conventions and stuff or hang out with some groups, but I don't know, dancing's with someone, I feel like I'd be put on the spot, even if obviously it's not about me. I just get nervous and shy. But I did get asked if I wanted to go to prom, and I didn't want to. I didn't bother with it. And before someone was like, oh, that's sad, I was like, no, not really. I got to hang out and play games and watch a ton of anime, so honestly, it was good. And like I said, if I really missed out on that prom, it's not like if there's other, like, moments that I can't do it. Like, if I want that experience, it may not be at high school, but that's not to say I can't have a similar experience other ways. So, for any people out there, I'll say this right now, and this is just whatever's opinion, right? If any people out there that are debating about going to prom, if you want to, go for it, but if you don't want to, that's completely fine. There's no reason you have to, like, feel obligated you have to go to prom. Like, I don't know which group of people will watch this, but if there's any people that are about to go to prom, or any dance or event for that matter, unless it's like, I don't know, something super major like, I don't know, a wedding or something, where, like, I don't know, you're the groom or spouse to be, I think that's probably the only circumstance of life where you should dance, because otherwise, or if you're like one of those, like, I think there's only two circumstances in life where you are required to dance whether you can or not, whether it's like a wedding or a moment like that, like a bar mitzvah, or if it's like you're part of like a dance crew or a dance team or something. I think those are the only two circumstances where by law you should be required to dance. Otherwise, I really don't think like you have to do it, because when I think about it, proms are nice, yeah, but you'll have more experiences. Having a dance doesn't mean it's the one moment to define your potential relationship. It's not like you won't have other circumstances in your future. At least that's my standpoint. But yeah, literally what I did for prom night, I like just hung out and ate like a crap. Where was I? Because I was in the West. Was I at that point? I think I'm trying to remember who I went to, but we just hung out. And I'm literally, I still remember. I don't remember everything we did, but I still remember some of the things we did. Was we hung out, we got a crap load of fast food, we got like so many things of Gatorade, and we played like so much Monopoly, and we played Smash Bros. That's literally what we did, was that we played Smash Bros. We played Smash Bros, we played Monopoly, and then we had like an anime marathon. We just like, I grabbed a bunch of like anime Blu-rays and was just like, hey, want to watch some stuff together? And for those that are wondering, well, what about that girl? You like stood her up? No, because at the point where like, the reason why we started, because I was saying that I wasn't really comfortable, not with going out with her for a dance, but it wasn't really my thing. And she was like, okay, cool. And she told me later on that the only reason why was because her older sister was like, yeah, proms are like the defining moment. You should do it, even if it's with a friend, just to like have the experience in life. But she later on told me that her dad kind of said similar to what I was saying, where it was like, you shouldn't let that be your one moment. And then eventually, at first, mom was like, her mother was like cool with it, because she was like, yeah, I get to see my baby girl go on a dance. But eventually she like came around, and we just like hung out. We all hung out together. And it's funny too, because after that there was like the summer thing where she was invited to somebody else for like some party, and I was like, you know what, we didn't go to prom, but we hung out there, and then we did dance. But it was a lot more like casual friend gathering and less of like a school-wide thing. So like I said, you never know how life will be. But if you ask me, proms are whatever. If you want to go for it, you can. And if somebody's like trying to ask me to prom, I mean, it'd be sweet, but it's just like, I don't know, I don't really do that kind of thing. Plus, I don't think anybody would really want to ask me, of all people, to go to prom.
An old fool like me wouldn't be dare going to such foolish establishment.
But like I said, that does bring up one last question before I finish this tirade. So, again, since I didn't go to prom, I don't know. I do remember hearing things about like a +1. Is it possible to get people? It should be, right? Like, if you don't have anyone at your school or grade to go to, can't you just be like, hey, you're my friend from like a different school, or I don't know, like, you're like a neighbor's kid that is in, well, I guess there'll probably be that whole like unspoken age difference thing, right? I guess that might be the one thing, but is there really like a limitation to who you ask to prom? I'm not saying it to be like sus or anything. I'm legitimately curious. I don't honestly know, but I'm certain my viewers will tell me, so let me know what you think in the comment section below, and let's get moving.
In the rental car your dad got for you to take me to prom.
Oh. Yeesh, she's still not over it.
That is certainly an irresponsible way to spend your father's money. I'm actually over that, Jordan. I should have assumed that he asked me to go just because we're close friends. But I'm not over my senior year.
Yeah.
Mind if I do the honors?
Go ahead. I don't want to explain myself again.
So Kairi, Reggie told Pearl he'd make it up to her by going to senior prom with her, except he totally didn't.
Why not?
Something about college freshmen being mocked for going back to a high school event?
Is that a thing, really?
Something about college freshmen being mocked for going back to a high school event.
I wonder if that's a thing.
Peer pressure! He turned me down because he wanted to look cool!
Mistakes were made. I know who my real friends are now, not just because all those people are probably dead, which is a really raw statement.
Nobody else danced with me, and it totally sucked, and I didn't even get my picture taken. And it's all your fault, Reggie! What a dramatic place, high school.
Tell me about it. I didn't think it bothered her this much. It was just a dance.
Okay. Let's calm back down, Pearl. None of that matters anymore.
I know. The venue kind of sucked anyway.
Hey, so I'm mentally prepared now. So all this talk about proms and kind of blowing it, messing up, kind of got me a little confidence, so let's do this.
Don't even think about it being a decomposing corpse. It's just a stinky, kind of gooey mannequin with dirty clothes on. That's
disgusting.
Go for it, Reg. Also, I'm here now for some reason.
You take one last deep breath and... Yeah, okay, we go through the shirt pockets? Yeah, okay. That's pretty much the same. So, meaning that I didn't miss out on this part. Okay. So I think it's better once I do, like, the different choices to talk about it. Everything else, like, I remember this, so this is, like, obvious. They're talking about, hey, go to the hospital, go to the, labs, there's another key in the hospital, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, okay, we know that. And then talk about this guy and why he died. Again, I'm certain most of my viewers who followed me this point, more the new viewers in this case, less the older viewers, but more the new viewers will be like, oh, okay, yeah, I don't understand what's going on. If there are any newer viewers who tune into this and not the other episodes, like I said, it'd be better to watch those other ones. It would make a lot more sense. Because, again, viewers, I do this episodically. I mean, considering the fact that this is not part 1, I think it would make sense. But yeah, this is the Emily circumstance, right? Can I still do the Emily one? Oh, I can still do the Emily one. Huh. I guess I can still do the Emily one. I thought for sure I'd be locked out of that. Alright, whatever.
Go ahead. What are you...
Yeah. Munching on expired hot dog. Don't let that food look good. Let me let you know, it's expired. All that stuff is expired stuff, to remind you guys.
These will make you...
I'll just do the same. I don't really think I need to do for Emily that much. I mean, maybe I should. It would be different.
I was never allowed to eat your own tycoon.
Alright, next one I'll try.
You're soothing them.
Yeah.
As long as... Excellent. Huh?
How much can you eat? Which I'm certain is a question that I never think I'll ever ask a woman unless I want to get beaten senseless, but for the sake of this, my next question, based on the amount of refuse in this room, or refuse, depending on how your tone and dialect is, how much do you eat in one of these rituals?
It used to be that I would eat until there was nothing left. But that was back when the harvests were bountiful and my followers made regular offerings. But as those followers moved on, the offerings diminished. I now subsist on what remains from then, along with Dichroma's ability to manipulate the Cosmic Cradle. Ah, yes. I must mention, my lady, that the Cosmic Cradle has been stolen. Damn. They will never rest until my powers are no more.
Allow me to sickle my way through that field of analogies for a sec. My knee-jerk reaction is to be surprised that you can pack away so much food, but how long ago was this?
How long is an eternity?
An eternity. Okay, never mind. So people just gave you food?
Indeed. This was my temple, and they would faithfully offer to me their own harvests. All they required in return was my permission to view me from the other side of that window. I was secure in my standing as their god. Someone was there to bask in my immortal prowess at all hours
I remember
of all
this.
days.
Yeah. People believed her to actually be a god, so they, worshipped her.
That is certain thing.
Okay, so
really,
this is all the same.
They made their...
Didn't miss anything. Cool beans.
I will back one
Which means we can fast forward.
Very good. Is there yet more you wish to ask?
Is Dichroma an observer? Based on what you told me so far, what about Dichroma? Was he ever one of the people observing you?
Of course not. I have always been attached to her isolatedness at the hip. You spread misinformation, Dichroma. Reggie asks a very fascinating question, one whose answer I have not pondered for eons.
No need to exaggerate.
Dichroma, you must recall our first meeting, yes? Honestly, my queen, my memory from that far back is clouded. I was still young. I suppose I cannot fault you. I suffer the same imperfection since my memory at the time was that of a human. Human memories are feeble and often fail to provide the answers sought.
Fair point. Uh-huh. Emily's eyes dart around, and with a bit of milkshake on her face, she mutters into Dichroma's fuzzy head.
It's really hard to remember. I don't know why. I should remember.
Aw. If it's too hard, don't worry about it. I was just curious if he was given to you when you were a kid or something. Something must have sparked a memory for her, as she shoots back into character.
The Cosmic Ones just established a mental link with me to answer my desire for past knowledge. My queen, how marvelous!
Hello, Risotto, who says quite early today, ain't it, bruv? Oh, hey, Risotto. Sorry, yeah, this was impromptu. I'm still doing my normal scheduled, random one visit, but I want to kind of, do a little extra Undead Darling stuff because I really wanted to make some better progress when it came to romancing, at least for the second run, Kairi, and getting close to the end. It's also because we're about to enter the month, well, by the time this video comes out, it's probably going to be July. I don't know the better way to say this, and I'm not saying it in a negative way because I do like this game. I legitimately do. I kind of want to see if I can find a physical edition. If anybody knows that there's a physical way to get this, because I got this game digitally. I know that there's another physical... Oh, excuse me, I'm misspeaking. There's a physical edition I know existed, and I got, but I kind of want to get another one. This version is digital one, though, because I had it downloaded, but I have a physical version I got from Limited Run Games. I kind of want to, know if there's, a collector's edition, is my question. Because I know that this group called Limited Run Games made a physical version of this, and I really do like this game. The end-all be-all of my statement here is I really like this game. But there are other games I have, and I realize I really want to play them for stream, but knowing the scheduling times, I won't be able to do it. And I thought to myself, well, with recent games like Pokemon being beaten, I can free up time for that. And I was thinking to myself, what other games am I close to beating that can free up time for other games I want to do? And when I think about all the other games I have, this was the only one that theoretically is closest to being completed. So I thought to myself, oh, okay, I'll just do an extra one. So that's the primary reason. Just to move on with Undead Darlings. And I really am curious of the endings. I really want to see the endings. Especially after what happened with Buck a couple episodes ago. There was no way I could just let this go. So that's my whole reason for doing this early. But no, I'm still going to do my scheduled episode later on. This is just a little extra thing. Although, YouTube, by the time you get this video, this will be just a normal scheduled episode. Twitch is obviously going to be a different thing. That's pretty much it.
Dichroma, when we met, I was living in a house made of brick. Many others like me resided there, away from the closed-minded fools of society.
I will say this, though, really quickly. Twitch, I am planning on doing I'm probably gonna do more of the PS2 Tokobots game, because that too is different. That's something I feel I can beat, but on the Saturday block it's different. Because obviously, viewers, when I'm doing this is Saturday. Tokobots is one of those things where it's I can kind of go casually, and I thought to myself, do I really want to do two Undead Darling episodes in a day, or do I want to mix it up? And I kind of want to mix it up, so like I said, I'm just going to do something later randomly tonight, or later on today, excuse me. But for now, I'm just doing this extra episode. Hopefully that makes sense to Twitch. And again, YouTube, I know I'm saying a lot of things, it's confusing, I apologize. I'm just trying to get a better handle on the timing and schedule, because a lot of things kind of are happening really soon for me this month. Hopefully not bad, that's all I'm going to say.
Also, there was the one we knew as Mother.
Your mom?
No. Such a being has never existed for me, thus proving my existence above the mortal plane. This Mother was in charge of us all. She sought worshippers to help us all spread our dominions. Surely she was the great orchestrator sent to this world by the cosmos to give the chosen ones the chance to fight it out and have someone stand above the others. That someone is me.
So this mother person gave Dichroma to you? Yeah, okay. That's familiar. Alright, we can skip this part then.
Are you
remember, Emily was orphaned.
Huh?
and someone gave her dichroma.
Look,
But it was
suppose,
the,
shall we even. Oh,
I'm trying to think of the group of people.
Hey, Emmy! Did you guys sing some?
Stop it! No, not enough of
you're
you.
all going.
Okay.
It was the people that watched over her.
Aw.
Because remember, just to remind, we only found out at the end that Emily was part of some really twisted experiments, which I still don't like. But nonetheless, I think that'll pretty much go be okay, because I'm probably just gonna rush to the hospital. But again, there's really no point in just like putting you guys through it. So I'm actually, like I said, I'm gonna cut the episode here. It's gonna be on the short side. But yeah, this episode was more progress and find out a little bit more love. You're not gonna see me deal with the hospital. Although I will say, by next episode, if you see me stop at some point, it will most likely be, oh, then it's a moment that I think is important. I mean, hopefully it is. I hope I'm not like messing up on this. But I'm trying to remember, like, if my memory's right, going from the normal playthrough, I don't think there's really anything I have to worry about until I get to the end, I think. Because I think, like, here's the hospital and the labs, which is going to be big for other characters, but since this is a Kairi playthrough, I don't think I need to worry about it, so I can probably rush through. So, on the next episode, you'll hopefully see me before either a boss fight or something that I think is, like, a major Kairi moment. I'll make this promise to you as well, that I'm going to just rush through normally, like as if I was playing the game. And if it gets to a point where, like, I find a cutscene that is truly, like, more for Kairi's romantic side, then I'll stop it and be like, alright, this is where we'll leave off. So, thank you all for tuning in. Like I said, this was a short episode, a little bit more based off rants, but it was all good. I still don't really know what to title this episode, so I'll worry about it later. But nonetheless, thank you for tuning in, and yeah, when you actually see me, we'll have more progress with Kairi, and we'll probably be done with this soon. I really, again, I just want to say, because I'm thinking about it in my head as I was talking, I hope I'm not saying, like, proms are stupid. I'm not. There's nothing bad with going to prom. I want to say that. If you want to go to prom, be my guest. If you want to do any kind of dance thing, if you're comfortable with it, be my guest. It's just not my kind of thing, and I'm okay with that. I don't want it to be like, I don't know, somebody is about to, like, go to, like, I don't know, some, like, a spring or summer formal, which I've been to those, actually. Well, something that was kind of like a pseudo version of it. And somebody's like, hey, I watch Vitamin. He's like a good guy, and you should subscribe and like and follow his videos. And I subscribed to him, but he said that, like, I shouldn't go to his videos because I shouldn't go to prom because they're dumb. And then everyone's gonna be like,
How dare you steal my child? Tell them not to go to this dance.
I'm like, that's not my plan at all. Like, it really wasn't. But nonetheless, like I said, that's my stance on it. But if you guys care about it, let me know what you think in the comment section. Otherwise, thank you all for tuning in, and I hope to see you all in the next episode. Farewell.